So Selfridges is the latest retailer to jump on the clothing rental bandwagon. The department store, Selfridges, is teaming up with Her, which is an online rental fashion platform. And together they're giving customers the opportunities to rent up to 100 items from 40 different brands for up to 20 days at a time. Now, you guys know fast fashion gets a really bad rap and they're constantly saying that it's unsustainable. And what we're seeing with Selfridges is a move to try and attract younger and more ecologically minded buyers and consumers, especially during a difficult time in UK retail because of the coronavirus pandemic. But what I really want you to do is get you ladies' thoughts. Like, what do you think of the concept of online rental fashion and buying and services? Like, is it something you've ever done? Is it something that you would ever do? And do we actually think it's a solution to fashion sustainability problem and the cutting of purse strings and less money? Or do we actually think that they're trying to encourage women to keep up with the Joneses and to stunt with fashion that they actually cannot really afford?
Okay, well, for me, okay, would I ever do it? I don't know. That's the honest thing. And the reason why I'll say I don't know, because for me the idea of this renter fashion, should I say, isn't like a new concept to me, because in my mind, or hopefully has been working outside of my mind, is like, when you think about celebrities or different things like that, a lot of the time, like, their stylists may borrow clothes and things like that. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, it's just another evolution of retail, but it's just opening it up to the wider public. So for me, the reason why I say I don't know if I would do it, because I'm thinking, everyday clothes, absolutely not. I could just go buy my everyday clothes. But if, for example, I wanted to do like a photo shoot or something, and I just wanted to put together this like really sick concept and visual, and I needed certain pieces, then yeah, I possibly could rent it for my photo shoot and then not. But the issue where I think it will come into this whole drip or drown kind of situation for some people is the purpose and the intent. The drip or drown, honey.
Yes, girl, that's a great statement. I love it. That's what She's got so many one-liners. It's insane. I love you, girl. I love you so much.
Yeah, the reason why I think it will become an issue is people's intent or reason behind it. Because I think if you are using it to keep up with the Joneses or to make yourself look a different way on the internet, or for other people to perceive you in a different way, that's when it becomes a negative situation. Because for me, it'd be like, it would be unhealthy, because it'd be like another addiction or obsession to me. Yes. You're so addicted with trends and fast fashion and people seeing you a certain way. You're obsessed with this idea that you would abuse the idea of, you know, your renter fashion. So that's what I think. For me, personally, I think it's something that could work, but it's all behind the person's intent who's doing it. So that's mine.
And Anissa, I feel like you've just said everything I could possibly say, because like you said, like at first I was thinking I would never ever do that. But then I thought, hold on, if I've got one of these events to go to, and the thing about me is I'm so last minute in buying stuff. And it's not because I don't have the intention to do so, but sometimes life just gets busy and I forget to buy an outfit. So I'm thinking, instead of me stressing about trying to get next to delivery or 12-hour delivery the day before, I swear, I might just go rent something from Selfridges, you know, bop a nice outfit for that particular event and then ping it back. But I think you're right, it's the intention. And for me, my everyday clothes, and even like I'd say 95% of the stuff even 99%, I can't really imagine renting. But you're right, celebrities do it all the time. They do it with cars, they do it with houses, they do it with jewelry, they do it with clothing. Like, they are constantly renting. But I think it's, you know, we see them as, oh, they're rich, these are all the different garments they have, and this and the other. But you're right, if someone does it to drip or drown, and that, you know, obsession with drip life, because it is another obsession. It's, you know, I don't want to say acting your wage, because you know what, there's certain people that earn less than me, that are better with money than me, and therefore have accumulated more, which is fine. So it's not always about how much you earn, but it's that perception of, oh, you know what, I've got this, I've got a limited amount of garments, and all of my garments are designer. And I think if you're doing it for that reason, then I feel for you, because it's just not a healthy kind of mind frame to have. But I might actually, you know, rent a nice garment for like an event, like when I say event, I mean like a not a fashion show, but like an award show, or if I'm doing a red carpet, then let me get something real quick, real nice, real snazzy. And me, I'll probably say in the caption, rented from such and such, because sorry, ain't no one gonna come and tell me that I'm stunting for no one, you know. I will stunt when it's mine.
I think for me, like, this topic is so interesting for me because I'm someone, I love clothes. Like, I honestly do. Like, clothes are so personal to me. Like, it's about communication. It's the way that I communicate my mood, my thoughts. It's just very personal for me. So when I first started thinking about this topic, I was like, I don't know if I could ever rate because I don't like to part with my clothes. Like, I don't really get rid of them. And my friends laugh at me because I only ever buy things that I love. Like, if I don't love it, I won't buy it. Like, if I'm like, it's okay, I just need a vest top, I won't do it. I'm just like, I have to love the vest top. So everything in my wardrobe, when I put it on, I feel kind of special because I know I love this when I put it on, and I love it when I love the way it makes me feel, I love the way it makes me carry. So I was firstly thinking renting and having to give it back, I don't know. But if you are going to an awards show and you can get a dress at like 10% or 15% of the value, then why wouldn't you do that? But my issue with it is that this new renting clothing seems to be pitched at rich women because the clothes that they're trying to sell are high-end designers. So for me, it's just like, well, who are you really even marketing this at? You're marketing it at a very specific type of person. And when I looked at some of the websites, the only people they were advertising were slim, straight-sized white women. And a lot of them don't have a variety in sizes. So my wide hips aren't getting into it. And for me, I'm just like, it still feels like it's not actually trying to apply to the masses, but a very select few people who have a high disposable income.
Hopefully that will change, and hopefully this is the beginning of something that most brands will expand to. But in terms of the stunting thing, I think the type of people who want to stunt with things that they can't afford will find a way. Like, when there's a will, there's a way, and they will do it regardless of these renting schemes anyway. Because I don't know if you guys had this at school, but when I was at school, we had the EMA scheme, which meant that students from a household who were earning a certain amount of money could get a weekly allowance. So obviously this was supposed to be for like underprivileged kids to, you know, get essential items like lunch and books and pencils, sharpeners, all of those things. All of my friends that were on the EMA scheme, bar one person, spent it on trainers and alcohol. So I think that the type of people who want to look like they're living a certain lifestyle will find a way to do that, regardless of whatever schemes are available to us, you know? But I think for me, this is the first time that I'm hearing about something like this, which is why I said, I hope it will expand. I hope. Because I think it would be a brilliant idea. For me, my friends and I always used to go to like upcycle events where you can bring things that you don't want and you can exchange them for other people's pre-loved items, and that's like great in terms of sustainability, but in terms of personal fashion doesn't really go a long way. So I would always find myself struggling to find things, like you said, Sophie, that I loved, and I'll find things I'm like, yeah, it's all right, I guess, but it's nothing that I'm like, oh, I'm so excited about this. So in terms of fashion, I actually want to care about, and I actually that I would shop for, it would be great to be able to rent it, and then instead of wearing it once and having it sit in the bottom of my wardrobe until I do a clear out in 3 years, be able to give it back so that someone can use it again.
I was just thinking, because I can imagine myself doing it for like a photo shoot or something, but it'd have to be with an asterisk that I was the first person. And I know that sounds weird, but
I agree with you, Anissa.
Yes, I have a really odd thing about wearing clothes that other people have been in.
Yes.
And it's
You
weird.
wouldn't share my clothes? You wouldn't share my clothes? You came round to my house?
And it's not personal. It's just It's really, I just feel weird about it. It's Luanda, don't make me lie to you, girl. I do not want to lie to you. Okay. The thing is,
don't make me lie to you.
It's weird to say because me and my twin sister share clothes, but I don't see her as a separate person, more like an extension of myself. But for me, like, all my sisters are older than me, even my twin sister. But my older sisters are like gaps older than me, and they all have different body sizes. So it was never like I was borrowing their clothes or got hand me down. So I've never used to really having anybody else's clothes than mine. And then a couple of years ago, I think when I was in college, it got really trendy to be like vintage shops and secondhand clothes. And we'll go down Shoreditch and Petticoat Lane, you know, go get something at Petticoat Lane. And so all my friends would do it. I was thinking, yeah, I could go down to Petticoat Lane and get some stuff. And we were in the store, and my stomach was I couldn't physically do it. It was not in me. It was like my spirit said,
Girl,
no,
you're too
Anissa.
funny.
No, it was like my spirit said no. I said, I actually can't buy this stuff. I cannot. And all my friends bought it, but it was just, I could not do it. And it's not because I'm sort of elitist, but it was just like, I don't know these people's bodies. I don't know if this person died in it. I don't know if there's bad vibes in it. I don't know. So I couldn't. And that's
Do you know what?
I'm going back and forth.
You know what? See Anissa's experience. I had the exact same experience. I don't know if it was on the exact same day, yeah. But my sister was doing this whole vintage thing. I was like, okay, let's try it, right? So we went down to like Brick Lane, yeah. We went into this vintage shop. As soon as I stepped in, a bad mood took over me. Yeah. So and it was one of those where like you fill up a bag. I swear down, you're supposed to fill up a bag for like £5 or £10, yeah. And she was going around happy as Larry, and I was just fuming.
What?
Yes, that was the exact experience.
My friends and I used to thrift shop all the time, and then when Macklemore released Thrift Shop, I was like, I feel seen. I feel seen. Someone's heard me.
But that's the thing. I think in terms of like the thrift shops, and I think it is a very personal experience about how you feel in clothes and whether you want to wear other people's clothes. So I definitely get that. I think in terms of like the fashion sustainability side, they're saying that they don't even know if clothing rental is going to be fashion sustainable, because they're saying everything, like you guys were saying about, is it clean? They're saying every item needs to be dry cleaned, and they're like, dry cleaning uses up a lot of energy. They went to send it to people, and for them to return it, they went is also using up a lot of time, a lot of fumes into the world. They're saying like to deliver something costs £44 worth of carbon into the atmosphere. Like the facts on this stuff is insane. So they're saying we don't actually know if this is going to be sustainable, and it makes me feel like the people who are doing it, or the companies, I think they're just trying to turn a buck like on clothes that they know is probably are not selling. So if we get it out to rent, and they're saying if you put a serious tear or hole or stain in it, you have to pay the full price of the item. And people are borrowing things that are like £2,000, £3,000 for a fraction of the cost. And personally, I don't want to be left with that cost. So I don't think it's as straightforward as they're trying to make it seem like, oh, we're trying to be ecological, but there's a lot of things going on in the background.
To be honest, when I heard of it, it reminds me of a Klarna.
What is it?
Say Klarna, if I'm correct, is like on ASOS, they have it as well, where you can part payment for things. So you can buy something and then make regular payments over 3 or 4 months. And I was actually really upset. I was really upset when I saw that on ASOS, because I'm like, you're actually encouraging people who don't have money and might not be able to pay this to get themselves caught up in this payment plan, and they could be signed up to for a dress they've worn once for 4 months. I'm like, it's insane.
I'm personally never going to rent something that I can't afford, but I think from an environmental standpoint, it in my brain, I'm thinking it has to be better. Like, how can it not be better? Because the most damaging thing that fast fashion can do is mass production. And that's because of how much water it takes to create clothes. Like to make one cotton t-shirt is 700 gallons of water, which means that one person can have 8 cups of water every day for 3.5 years for that same amount. And if you make a pair of jeans, that's 2,000 gallons of water, which means 8 cups a day for a whole decade. So, you know, there have been there's like the Alar Sea in Uzbekistan, which over 50 years of cotton production dried up and was one of the largest lakes in the world. And now it's just small ponds here and there. So I think like if you're reducing the production, it has to be better. And I know that, like you said, it could just be, you know, for money, like this just could work out with our lesser sold items and things like that. But I think as it expands and as it gets to the more affordable retailers, then they're actually going to have to think about this stuff, because they know that they have eco-friendly customers and people who want to have sustainable fashion. Like that is what most of my generation is focused on now. So you have to cater to that. And we're going to background check, so do it right.
But I was going to say just to correct on one thing, because I read it yesterday and I would have thought the same, that it was about mass production is the biggest waste, but they're saying it's actually the delivery. So people who are ordering next day and delivery, they are actually the ones putting up the most economic or the most affecting climate change. Isn't even mass production, is delivery. So this is a wide problem that we need to think about from all angles, because it's really affecting our community.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, fast fashion like contributes to 10% of carbon emissions of all humanity, 10%, and the second largest water source is fast fashion as well. So it's crazy.
I love next day delivery. No,
me too. I paid for a year. I love it. Honestly, I love it.
I'm a whore for next day delivery.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm not imagine Amazon.
In my head, I'm like, you're not just delivering my items, you're delivering lots of other stuff as well.
Yes, isn't that what they do?
No, but I don't want to do it.
The one that you came down very fast on that high horse of sustainability.
Because for me, like I was so focused on the water, and then you was like the delivery, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, like it hit me too.
Can I catch
it hit me too, because they said it's better to bulk buy. I'm going to a wedding in a couple of weeks, guys. I've ordered like 7 next day deliveries. It's a joke. So yeah, anyway. It's
okay. Well, we're all working on it. We're all trying our best to do what we can for the planet.